Hello everyone, welcome to Cyberscoop TV. Greg Otto, your managing editor here. We're coming to you from the floor of the 2017 Black Hat Conference. I'm talking with Scott Register, the VP of Product Management for Security and Cloud for Ixia.
Yes.
Scott, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, thanks for coming.
So, talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing when it comes to cloud security and cloud visibility. I know your product does a lot with that, and I know it's tough for enterprises to get their arms around, just all of the things that their cloud touches.
Yes. Well, one of the things we often hear from customers is they know that they want to move to the cloud, right? They've seen some of the benefits of elasticity, being able to scale up, scale down, ease of deployment, things like that. And there's this initial movement, okay, we've got to get there. And then they realize, how do I solve the compliance problems, the security problems, all those things that I knew how to solve when it was in my data center. And I could reach out and touch it, and I could install taps and firewalls and all that stuff. And it's just a very different world once you've moved to the cloud. First of all, you don't own and you can't even touch the infrastructure.
Right.
So you can't adjust the network layout or any of that to suit your needs. And also we see a general trend away from the traditional inline security products, the kind of firewall and IPSs, just because the model of those sort of forces all the traffic through a sort of choke point and then spreads it back out, and that's just not a very cloud-friendly approach, right? In cloud deployments, you don't really want anything between your servers and your users, and you don't want a single point of failure. And so the way that people think about security is very different, but gaining access to that granular kind of packet level data in the cloud is very difficult. And that's one of the challenges we set out to solve, is how do we reach out into your Amazon or Azure or Google Cloud, wherever you've chosen to deploy your apps, and get that traffic and send it to whatever security tools you want. And so we have our CloudLens public product that does exactly that.
So you also recently had an announcement about a different product altogether.
Yes.
Tell me a little more about that.
So, one of our goals is to make sure that there are no blind spots, right?
Okay.
That wherever a customer has deployed their assets, their data, their servers, whatever, that they can see those and all the traffic around them and see everything that happens relative to those. So the cloud is obviously a piece of that. Another recent trend is the increasing adoption of security, right? I mean, security is kind of the key enabling technology on the internet, right? We use it for kind of everything, right? E-commerce, sending email, whatever. And because it's so important, the standards continuously evolve. Well, there's a new standard probably out the end of this year.
Okay.
It's called the TLS 1.3.
Right.
Right, okay. And what this requires is the use of ephemeral or one-time keys for every encrypted session.
Right.
So that even if a hacker compromises like the server's keys from one session, they can't use that to gain insight into later sessions, right? Now, this actually breaks a lot of the way that people deal with sort of traffic access.
Right, this is going to change the way people operate.
Today
in
you
this
can
space.
often stream encrypted traffic to disk, and then on demand pull a particular stream back and read it on the fly and decrypt it on the fly. That no longer works, right? And so one of the things that we've now added to our packet broker chassis is SSL proxy, decryption, re-encryption. So that gives you one central point on the network where it can be internal server-to-server traffic, or traffic coming in from the internet or going out, where we can sort of decrypt once, provide that traffic to all your tools, so you can do, your firewalls, your IPS, whatever. They don't have to deal with it, and you don't have to do multiple steps of encryption, re-encryption, so that you have one sort of visibility hub for all the traffic in your network. And that's actually what we've announced here at the show as our active visibility module.
Great.
SSL.
Great. And talk to me a little bit about how, we talk about with TLS 1.3 coming up and everything like that.
Yes.
With that coming up and so much, there's so many other moving pieces to this.
Yeah.
How do you see organizations and enterprises moving to be more adaptable to this stuff? Because it seems like things change so often. And when you have a big organization to protect, you have to be nimble and agile in order to be able to protect your stuff.
That's a great point. The reality is, it's very hard to be an expert at all of these things, right? So the way that we try to help our customers is by giving them kind of technology that abstracts kind of the implementation details. So is it TLS 1.2, 1.3? You shouldn't have to worry about that. All you should worry about is keeping up with best practices, meaning I want to look inside encrypted traffic, because that's something you should do.
Right.
I mean, as the amount of traffic increases, the percentage of attacks that come into your network over an encrypted tunnel obviously increases, right? So we expect our customers, the practitioners who deploy security, to know, oh, I need to look inside that, but then we don't want them to have to worry about exactly how it's done. We'll take care of that part. Just as we expect our customers to say, hey, if I've deployed servers in the cloud, I want to see what's happening with them, just as I do on the internal network. But they shouldn't have to worry about how the data gets to their tools. We'll take care of that in the cloud, just as we did on premise. So we expect, again, our customers to sort of to understand what the big challenges are, but we'll help with the implementation details and let them worry about the kind of higher level business problems.
Great. Scott, appreciate your insight and appreciate you telling us about your new features.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Thanks for coming by.
All right.
Cheers.
For all of our videos, check out our YouTube channel. And for more on Black Hat and all things cybersecurity, check out cyberscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.